This is the second time that I have filmed this video. The first time I wasn't feeling well. My asthma was acting up and it was like every other word at best. I'm being generous when I say every other word. I was like, and I didn't think that you guys needed to hear that. This is the second time around. It's better than the first. This video is my February reading intentions. So if you want to know what I would like to read in the month of February, and since it is already February, 6th, if you want to know what I would like to read and what I am currently reading, stay tuned. Hey y'all, it's Erica from The Broken Spine. Welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. So I am going to do my very best to make this super quick because I have quite a stack of books here and I don't want to make this too long. So before I get started, I just want to let you know that I am participating in 2 Readathons this month, and I am also hosting the Poppy War Trilogy read along. So for February, we are reading and discussing the Poppy War, and the live discussion for that will be February 27th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is a Discord. I will link my announcement video in the description box, as well as the Discord if you want to join in that. So I'm excited to be doing this. This Poppy War, I've read it before, and this will be my second time reading it. I also have a bunch of co-hosts that will be joining me, and I will link their information in the description box as well. So if you're not following them, please make sure you go and check out their channels and subscribe, and also don't forget to engage with their content. So let's get started. The 2 readathons that I am participating in are Blackathon, which is hosted and created by Jesse at Bowties and Books, and the other is the Missy Elliott Readathon, which was created by Cachet over at Shay with the Hobbies. And Cachet also has hosts as well, and one is Dejana and at Author Day. I will link everyone's information in the description box. And Britt from Britt Writerly. Blackathon, if I remember correctly, this is the 3rd year for Blackathon, and each year it gets bigger and better. There are 4 teams, and it's sci-fi, fantasy, mystery, thriller, horror, contemporary, nonfiction, and romance. So I am going to try and fit some of the books in for the Missy Elliott Readathon into Blackathon. That's the plan. So also, this is not a TBR. I may switch some of them out for something else. So this is, I'm going to call it my reading intentions for the month of February. Let's get into it. So the Missy Elliott Readathon has 7 prompts. I have them here on my phone, and yeah, so let's just hop right on into it. There are some prompts that I have multiple books that I want to read, so we'll just go right into it. So the first prompt is Gossip Folks LGBTQIA plus rep, and for this one I have 3. The first one is Bloodlike Magic by Lizelle Sambury. I hear that there is quite a bit of LGBTQIA plus representation in here, and I've been wanting to read this. This was actually gifted to me by a viewer, Alicia. Thank you again, Alicia, for gifting me this, and it was a Christmas gift, so thank you again, Alicia. So for this one, what is her name? Voya Thomas is a witch and she fails her trial, and she's given a second opportunity to take it and pass it. However, in order to do this, she has to kill her first love. Now, from my understanding, she has not fallen in love. She hasn't met anybody or anything like that. So, yeah, and if she doesn't do that, then the Thomas family of witches will lose their magic, will be stripped of their magic. The second book that I have for LGBTQIA plus representation is Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. This is an ARC and it actually came out on February 1st. So this one is a story about a father and a son. So the back of it says, as Jacob lies dying, he begins to write a letter to his only son, Isaac. They have not met or spoken in many years, and there are things that Isaac must know, stories about his ancestral legacy in rural Arkansas, and secrets from Jacob's tumultuous relationship with Isaac's mother. But most of all, Jacob must share with Isaac the unspoken truths that reside in his heart. He must give voice to the trauma that Isaac has inherited, and he must create a space for the two to find peace. So it illuminates the lived experiences of Black fathers and queer sons, offering an authentic and ultimately hopeful portrait of reckoning and reconciliation. So I don't know if, I'm assuming that Isaac, the son, is queer, but I'm not sure. The third one that I have for LGBTQIA plus rep is Disha Filyaw's The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. I've already started reading this. I read the first story. This is a book of short stories, by the way. So I read the first story and it is a queer story. So I don't know if all of the stories will have some type of queer representation, but the first story definitely does. So I've heard really good things about this book. Prompt number 2, 1 Minute Man Black Romance. So I don't read romance. I read my first romance last year, end of last year when I was sick, and it was The Boyfriend Project by Farrah Rochon. And Ashley from Bookish Voyage and Deidre from Shade True Reads, they were really excited and happy that I read my first romance. So I have 2 romances here that I would like to read. And the first one is The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Junauda Petrus. From what I understand with this is that, or what's her, Audrey. Audrey moves to Minnesota with her father after she was caught in a relationship, a secret relationship with the preacher's daughter. So when they get to Minnesota, the people that they're staying with, what is her name? Mabel? Yeah, Mabel is, I'm assuming she's also a teenager. Mabel falls for Audrey and I guess they start a relationship. I'm not sure, but I've heard good things about it. The next one that I have in romance, Black romance, is Secrets and Lies by Selena Montgomery, otherwise known as Stacey Abrams. And this one is about Dr. Caitlin Lyda, who witnesses the murder of her uncle, and she comes in contact with Sebastian Kane, who is described as being tall, sexy, and his eyes full of mysterious promise. She thinks he's going to help her, but apparently he's one of the bad guys, and he's what they call a recovery specialist. So he's trying to recover an artifact, I believe. Prompt number 3 is Work It Coming of Age trope, and for that one I have 2, and one is a reread. I'll start with the reread, and that is going to be Nnedi Okorafor's Remote Control. When I read this, I really enjoyed it, and it was one of those, it's one of those books that has stayed with me, and I want to go back and revisit it. Our main character, Fatima, is considered the daughter of death because she has a power in which she's able to kill And sometimes she does it for mercy, other times it's in self-preservation. So there is the aspect of big companies, there's the aspect of myth, nature, big brother kind of thing, technology. So all of this, it's packed in here, and I think Nnedi Okorafor handles it absolutely beautifully. So I want to revisit this, and I think that this month would be a great month to do that. The next one that I have for coming of age is Jacqueline Woodson's Brown Girl Dreaming, and this is an autobiography that is told in verse. I'm not huge on reading poetry, but I do like books that are told in verse. And let's see, prompt number 4, The Rain Super Duper Fly. Read a book from an author's backlist at least 5 years old. And the one that I chose for that is The Conjure Man Dies by Rudolph Fisher. This one is a book that I'm really excited to read because it is the first mystery thriller novel published in the US by an African American, and it was published in 1932 during the Harlem Renaissance, my favorite literary period. So yeah, this one I'm super excited to read. Prompt number 5, Lose Control, multi-POV. I have 2 here, and this one, the first one came out January 11th, and it is Yonder by Jabari Asim, and I've already started reading this as well, and I'm really enjoying it. However, it is one that you have to take in small bites because it is really heavy. If you do decide to pick this up, just be forewarned, there are lots and lots of trigger warnings. Violence, death of a child, assault. This is about, they call themselves the Stolen, the owners call them captives. They are taught their captors' tongue and their beliefs, but they have a language and rituals all their own. In a world that would be allegorical if it weren't saturated in harsh truths, Cato and William meet at Placid Hall, a plantation in an unspecified part of the American South. Subject to the whims of their tyrannical and eccentric captor, Cannonball Green, they never know what harm may befall them. Inhumane physical toil in the plantation's quarry by day, a beating by night, or the sale of a loved one at any moment. It's that cruel practice, the wanton destruction of love, the belief that Black people aren't even capable of loving, that hurts the most. So it goes on, but William is in love with someone named Margaret. Cato is in love with someone named Iris, and the story is told from William, Margaret, Cato, a character named Cupid, and other characters within the story. And their friendship over the years, over time, becomes strained because there is a preacher that comes around and he's talking about freedom and what it means to be free. And if we're free, then you can choose your own job, you can choose who you love, and all of these choices that you have if you're free. And the reality is they know that under their conditions they will never be free. So it's a hard read. It's a good read. I'm enjoying Asim's writing style, but like I said, it's one that you have to take in, for me anyway, you have to take in little bites. The next one that I have for multi-POV is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. This one also came out on February 1st, and this story follows a brother and a sister, Byron and Benny, and their mother dies, and they go home for the reading of the will, and it is discovered that their mother left a traditional Caribbean black cake in the freezer, and a voice message for them that they are not to eat the black cake until the time is right. Apparently, there are some secrets that the mother has kept. There is another sibling that's out there that they didn't know about. So I'm curious to find out how this all pans out. And it's also a story about Byron and Benny supposedly mending their broken relationship. Down to the last 2 prompts and last 2 books. So prompt number 6, throw it back, set in high school or written while you were in high school. And I have chosen for that prompt Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is about a friendship. Tavia, who is a siren, and Effie. I'm not sure if Effie is a siren as well. I think she is, but not sure. And Tavia accidentally lets it be known that she is a siren after another siren is murdered. So this takes place in Portland, Oregon. Excuse me. And their friendship is put to the test. The last one is Pass That Dutch, a book recommendation. So this one is Nello Hopkinson's Falling in Love with Hominids. This was actually gifted to me by a viewer, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. That's all I have for Blackathon and the Missy Elliott Readathon. And I will see you all in the next video. Oh, and don't forget, if you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of new content. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.